Hi, welcome to International Recaps. The major character of this movie is a priest. This priest victimizes the vampires. At night, he is on the lookout for all vampires. However, vampires have prepared a trap for him, and a priest has been captured. Attempts are made to free him, but they fail and he dies. Then a flashback is shown. It is revealed as a story. Vampires and human beings used to live together, but they had great contempt among them. They used to disdain one another and continue their fighting every time. Peace was shattered in the city where these wars were taking place. Vampires had started to kill human beings. Humans were in danger in this location, because there was a significant difference between the vampire and human ways of life. So human beings took a decision to secure their lives. They locked themselves in a church so they might survive there securely. So they built the giant walls for this cause there so no one may approach them. So vampires may not cross these limits. There was a reputed priest. He was vigorous. He was honored by all the priests, because that great priest had the ability to do everything. He could fight with the vampires perfectly. When that priest knew that vampires had created turbulence, so they locked up the vampires, capturing them. After this, the whole city became quiet. No one used to fight, nor was there any vampire. So the people were free of fear for their lives due to this. But many priests lost their professions for this cause, and they adopted the different professions. Somehow, they may earn their living. Now a family comes on the scene, including a couple and their daughter, Lucy. That family was industrious, and it seemed as if they always remained in grief. One day, that couple is dining. Then their daughter Lucy comes from outside. Her father shows his anger and asked, "Lucy, where have you gone?" Lucy tells, "Father, I am coming from the city." Lucy's father says to her, "How many times have I forbidden you to visit the city? You are insecure there." Now Lucy's mother calms Lucy's father down. She explains the etiquette of eating. Suddenly, the earth begins to shake, similar to an earthquake. All are very frightened. They had all come to know that vampires are about to approach. Lucy's parents lock her in the cellar, while they themselves remain out of the cellar. Now there is an assault of vampires there. Lucy begins to cry a lot. Reaching there, they bring Lucy out of that place. They kidnap her and take her with them. Now the scene turns, and the priest is shown speaking, that he is sorrowful, because one of their companions had been victimized by the vampires, and they did not have the courage to save him. Then they encounter Lucy's friend outside. He is a good person, and she used to visit there to meet him. It means this friend of Lucy used to live in the city. He starts to reveal the whole story to the priest, that Lucy is my dearest friend. She has been taken away by the vampires, and the priest whom Lucy's friends are talking about. That priest is the paternal uncle of Lucy. He tells that Lucy's mother was killed under the assault of the vampires, but her father or my brother are still alive. Then Lucy's friend says, "I have to rescue my friend. I have listened to you. Kindly help me. I have a dire need for your assistance." The priest keeps silent. He reveals the whole story to his master, moving directly to the church. That master says, "The vampires' attack is impossible. They are all imprisoned. You know it well. How will they attack someone?" The priest cannot utter a word. He could not speak a single word before his master. But if it was clicking in his mind, if vampires have not kidnapped, then who did abduct Lucy? Now the place is shown where Lucy is present. And it was the truth that the kidnapper of Lucy was not anyone else, but a human. He was savage. He warns Lucy, "You will not step outside from here. I will end your life if you take this action." Further, the priest is shown talking with his partner. "Then I have to go to rescue my daughter Lucy, who is the daughter of his brother." His partner says to him, "You have also been forbidden by the master. Your path will be full of threats if you violate him. It means that your task will be difficult. You will never be able to search for Lucy." But that priest says, "I will surely have to leave. If I don't, who will save her?" Then two individuals begin to attack them while they are there. But that priest kills both of those people very ingeniously, because he had no fear of anyone. He knew the techniques to fight with vampires, so humans were nothing before him. Standing up, he promises that he will return after rescuing Lucy. He has the most advanced technological weapons and a motorbike. He rides on that bike, taking all his weapons. He was very passionate about rescuing Lucy, so he moves to her house, from where she had been abducted. Afterwards, he takes Lucy's friend with him. Now they move together to visit Lucy's father, who was badly wounded. Here the priest gives his words to Lucy's father. "I will come back after searching for your daughter." The priest says to Lucy's friend before departing it will be better for me to go alone." But Lucy's friend says, "I am also skilled. I can finish vampires." Then the priest says to him, "Which skill do you possess?" He then shows him how to use the dagger. Being inspired, the priest takes him along with him. When the master of the church comes to know about it, then he feels very bad. He says that I will have to build a team to search for that priest. Following the investigation, he gathers other priests to form a team that will bring that priest. On the other side, the priest and Lucy's friends are seen. They observe the footprints of someone on the way. The priest says, "These are not vampires' footprints. It seems that these belong to any human being." There they see a man badly cutting a chicken into pieces. He was preparing the vampire's food. Then the priest asks him, "Whose footprints are these? Is there any vampire who has passed from here?" Then that man talks with them rudely. "Go away. I don't know." The priest then moves to a cellar and enters. Seeing the priest, there is a frightful man who begins to fear. He asks, "Why have you come here? Go away." Hearing him, all the present workers of that place came there, and they had been imprisoned there for the security of that place. So they all came to attack the priest and Lucy's friend. But the priest and Lucy's friend begin to attack them in return, and they kill them one by one. The priest asks the last surviving worker, "If you tell me about Lucy, I will not harm you." That worker says, "I don't know where Lucy is," and he tries to tangle with the priest, so that night falls soon and vampires may appear. It happens the same. The night falls, and many vampires begin to appear there. They had a blade of some type. Priest and Buddy start hitting the vampires with it. When that time comes, all vampires flee in terror. The priest inquires of the only surviving worker, "Will you still not tell me where Lucy?" He informs them that they have taken Lucy to the west. Meanwhile, a huge and horrible vampire comes there and kills that worker, so he may not give the whole address of Lucy. Priest and his partner get aggressive about it. But the priest sits there with Lucy's friend and plans how access may be gained to Lucy. They begin to find the address on the map and say, "The way leading there is very dangerous." They come to know where Lucy has been taken. That place is very weird. It has a history. There had been a war, and 6 vampires had survived. They were not killed because they were feeble. Now they have both reached that place, and they meet a man there who is devilish. They also ask him about Lucy. Then that man moves to a man who was a former priest. He had now turned into an evil vampire. His name was Black Hat. He tells him that the priest and Lucy's friend are searching for him because you have abducted Lucy. Black Hat flies into rage. He says, "Why are you telling me? Why did you not tackle it yourself?" He bites him, so he is also transformed into a vampire. On the other hand, the priest and Lucy's friend are seen. They move to a cave and hear the sound of something. There is a girl when they check it. She reveals them. "The master has gathered a team of priests to capture both of you. I was among them, but I broke up with them. But you need not worry. I know that you are doing good, and Lucy should be searched out, and I will help you in this matter. This is the reason I told you that the master wants to capture you, so that you may care for it." That girl is a priestess. As they are moving ahead, a huge vampire attacks them. However, after a battle, they defeat it. Then the priestess tells her story. As it has already been told, when the war broke out among vampires, then the jobs of all priests were ended. They had become poor. Then this priestess started to sweep the garbage. It means her condition was also worse. Now a priest who is along with the priestess, he says, "Yeah, it happened similarly with all priests, and the master did it badly, and he is still wanting to catch me because I am searching for Lucy." Then they came to know that there is an army of vampires ahead, and they can attack them. But all those vampires went to a city before coming out of the cave, and they started to kill all the people. There are also 3 priests there to stop them, but those vampires were vigorous, that they kill those 3 priests. And they fix their dead bodies on the crucifix. In the morning, when the priest, priestess, and Lucy's friends reach here, they are grieved to see the bodies of other priests. They get the idea that vampires will soon attack us. They're investigating how these vampires got there. They come to know as they come here by train. They begin to make the weapons, so they will stop vampires from coming here at any cost. On the other side, Lucy is shown, and Black Hat is with her. It asks her, "Will you take food?" Then Black Hat says to her, "I tell you a story. You know, it was thought in the world that the soul does not exist in vampires. Only human beings are superb. But it was wrong. The soul also exists in vampires, which are more powerful. Priests should not have killed vampires. The human beings feel trouble when vampires want to take revenge. Now that the time has come that I may reveal this to the world, that we have more need for vampires. Do you know why I have brought you here? So you may help me with the whole task. I know that the priest will surely come here to rescue you." On the other side, Lucy's friend is so sad, because he knew if Lucy transformed into the vampire before their access, then the priest will kill her. But the priestess consoles him, and she says, "We need to live for the world. If you will lose your courage thinking it, how will we carry out our operation?" Now they start to move in that direction from where the vampires were about to come, where there was the threat of the approaching vampires. Now they reach the railroad. Then Lucy's friend targets the priest with his gun, and he says, "No matter what happens, Either my friend had transformed into a vampire, but you will not kill her. Then the priest says to him, okay, don't think of it as such. If I reveal the truth, I am Lucy's father. I lied to you that I was her uncle. Who can think better than me about my daughter? Knowing it, Lucy's friend feels little relaxation. They are with the train, and they have known that vampires are in it. They begin to hide a bomb there. That priest comes on the train. There is Black Hat Vampire. Here the reality of Black Hat vampires is exposed. It had been told at the start of the movie that a priest had been entrapped by vampires, and no one had the courage to rescue him. All thought that he was no more. Later, the vampires saved him. Afterwards, they turn him into a vampire like them. They take advantage of him. When human and vampire souls mingled, so it became stronger, and that Black Hat turned into a vampire. Then the great fight is started between the priest and Black Hat. Black Hat kicks the priest, so he falls away. It means that Black Hat was the strongest. Then many workers appeared there. They were under the service of vampires. They start to attack the priestess and Lucy's friend, but the priestess defeats them. Black Hat throws a priest into the train. There is Lucy, who was in the possession of a vampire. She is screaming. The priest tries to rescue her. Lucy burns him, who had caught her. Afterwards, Black Hat comes before her. Lucy attempts to attack him using a knife, but Black Hat was very shrewd. He saves himself from the knife's attack. Black Hat attacks the priest with a knife and is injured. He came up to the train with Lucy. He was going to transform her into a vampire after biting her, but priest reaches the train's roof. Ha has a blade of a crucifix, which he directly throws at Black Hat. After losing her balance, Lucy is going to fall from the train, but the priest rescues her. But Black Hat is still wanting to finish. Then the priestess loaded her bike full of explosives and rushed towards the train at high speed. The bike collided with the train, so the train is exploded, and all vampires have died in it. Fortunately, Black Hat was also no more. He died. Now, the priest has taken Lucy into his lap. Lucy's friend feels satisfaction after seeing Lucy like this. And the priest was looking at the priestess, saying, "You did a great job." At last, they had succeeded, and they had accomplished their mission. And they had secured Lucy. Above all, Black Hat is not alive. In the end, priest is seen, who moves to the same master in the church. He drops a vampire's head in front of him and says, "I'm back after fighting vampires. They intend to destroy us. According to you, vampires are still guiltless. They are unable to harm us." Then the master exclaims, "Yeah, I'm telling you the truth." Then priest says, "Okay, you are not going to listen to me. I will not prefer to stay here." He goes directly to the priestess, and he tells her, "We will make our own team, which will be in charge of hunting vampires." And the movie completes on this scene. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.